I'm here in Calgary, visiting with a band member from Pasqua First Nation. As you know, I'm running for a councillor position. On our First Nation, our election day is March 1st. And I wanted to thank you for agreeing to sit down with me, answer a couple of questions, and what I'd like to do is to hear your comments, your concerns regarding anything that, the changes that you believe need to happen on our First Nation. If you could start by introducing yourself and we'll go from there.
I am Richard and I am from Pasqua. I grew up out there when I was younger and moved away from home. I currently live in Calgary. I am an artist and I've been supporting myself with that in various jobs, you know, over the years.
Okay. How long have you lived in Calgary?
It's going on 6 months, and before that it was 2 years I lived here.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things that I'm having as part of my campaign for the next 5 or 6 weeks, I'm meeting with different people, but I'm also having a men's meeting on January 31st, and that's going to happen in Fort Capel near the Res. You may not be able to attend. One of the questions that I'm going to be asking is, what do you consider to be important? What do you, from your perspective, what do you need to see happening on our reserve?
Well, I'd say first and foremost would be more council and you know, the people that are put to work to service band members to be more connected to the band members. You know, I've found a lot of difficulties over the years coming home and trying to get a hold of people when there's no one there. One of the things I always thought was they should always have 2 or 3 counselors, you know, at the band, you know, to deal with band member concerns, because people have family emergencies or things come up, and you know, when there's no one there, it just, you know, I wouldn't want to say, I'd say it takes away from their duty, and you know, I guess that would be it.
Okay, all right, thanks. So what do you consider to be important? What's important to young people today, young First Nations people?
Access to education, access to training, having a facility on the reserve that provides that type of training. I mean, even like integration into, you know, the city life. I mean, you know, it's a lot of people do live on the reserve, but people have to find work and you know, training off reserve, and having something that bridges those gaps and makes, you know, like say the trades, you know, jobs in the trades more accessible for band members, and also education, upgrading their education.
Okay. I noticed that you have a brochure on Idle No More, and my understanding is that Idle No More, it's a grassroots movement, but there is a considerable amount of young people that are very active in the movement.
Yes.
There's political support, there's academic support, but first and foremost, it really is a movement that our young First Nations people have embraced wholeheartedly. Do you have a role in that here in Calgary?
I am basically just starting to get my teeth sunk into the whole situation, I guess. I was part of the first march here on December 10th, and I walked alongside other men on the outside of the women and children during the march on Stephen Ave. That was a very powerful day, and those people only had 4 days to organize that, and when I got there, I was walking with the drum group, and at that time it was just us, and we were walking down Stephen Ave, and then it was just amazing to see all of these people come from everywhere, like every street, and people had flags and drums and, you know, holding signs, and there was, you know, it's definitely definitely something that's powerful, and like I'm working with one of the organizers here in Calgary, the official organizers, and trying to get involved, you know, just voicing my opinion, educating myself on what's going on what these bills really mean, what they stand for. I was in attendance on Friday at Samson Cree Nation for their talks on what was going on, and you know, it's definitely a serious situation, and yeah, something needs to be done.
Okay. Is there a role for Chief and Council in Idle No More? Because
there definitely is a role. You know, a lot of, like, when I was at that march, one of their elders from Sarcee spoke, and what he said was, it would be our own leaders and our own people that will hamper and put a bad light on this event, and they'll actually, you know, turn to stop it. And I can only hope that, you know, people that are coming into leadership now are sensitive to those issues and are, you know, genuinely in support of helping our people and keeping those treaties sacred, because that's exactly why our former chiefs and our, you know, past grandfathers and grandmothers, they had the foresight enough to secure our future, and we would not have what we have today without that. So I think it's whoever's responsibility that's empowered to keep that perspective and to think about the future, you know, think about their children's children, and, you know, that's a good start.
Okay, thank you. My campaign platform, one of the initiatives that I will endeavor to put into place when I'm on council is the establishment of a Young Leaders Council. I think it's important for our young people to be politically involved. Certainly there's a lot of things that motivate us politically, socially, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on a Young Leaders Council should our First Nation begin to do that after March 1st this year.
You know, I don't think they have that anywhere, not at least, you know, for my travels, and I've been all over the country. I've traveled to over 160 reserves in Canada, and if they found a way to connect the youth and potential leadership, I mean, leadership is something I've learned that you harvest at a young age, you know what I mean? Somebody just doesn't come into the job, you know, it doesn't just fall into your lap. It's you have to display qualities, you have to carry yourself a certain way, and you need to be around people that support that and nurture that. And I've always found with older leadership on reserves, they got that old school mentality, and they're disconnected from what's going on now, and they can be very close-minded when it comes to new issues that are sensitive to young people. And if the band could do something like that, and establish a council like that, I think that would be one of the best things they could do to start off this new year. Okay,
thank you. Do you have any other comments, any thoughts that you'd like to share in closing?
I would just like to say that you know, I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and you know, there's a lot of good things I think that are going to come, and you know, if people need to unite their opinions, and they need to get past you know, different barriers and things like nepotism and you know, exclusion are not who we are as Indian people. Mm-hmm. You know, we are supposed to be working together and connected, you know, like a family. That's why everywhere you go, I get called brother or sister, you know, like it's not, there should not be any type of exclusivity when it comes to our people, and especially our leadership, and how they treat their own membership. You know?
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.